Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of PowerCore Productions and Podcastings, where in today's video we're going to be continuing Naruto Tale of Two Sages. What if Naruto was Louise's familiar? Part 11. As always, if you're new to the channel or if you're a regular and you like what we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcastings that's to come out now and in the future. Where we last left off with our series, after having his body restored to good health, Nagato along with Konan would make their way back to the world of Naruto. Now with newfound vigor and resolve, they look to make amends for the wrongs that they have made in the past, hoping to bring all of their atrocities to an end by defeating the leader of the Akatsuki, the one under the orange mask, known only as Madara Uchiha. However, in the meantime, while Naruto still bides his time in the world of Familiar of Zero, as he continues to try to find a way to return home, he has been given a few clues as to how to master the new power and dormant one that lies within him. But he will have to overcome many great trials in his own inner darkness if he is going to be able to tame the power that is the Nine Tails. Will Naruto be able to do so? And how will the efforts of Nagato and Konan be as they attempt to right their wrongs and bring the Akatsuki to an end? For all this and more, stay tuned as we now continue Naruto Tale of Two Sages. What if Naruto was Louise's familiar? Part 11. As always, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. As Nagato and Konan left back to their world, the world that Naruto came from, Louise could see that there was a hint of sadness in Naruto's face, watching as the two went back from which they came. She knew deeply how this must have affected him, mainly being the fact that Naruto had been here for so long. There was no telling, but he was obviously homesick. He wanted to go back, that much was certain. But at the same time, Louise couldn't help but admit to herself that she didn't want Naruto to go. She wanted him to stay. She knew that much was certain. She had only improved as much as she had because there was someone who believed in her, and she wasn't ready to give that up. At the same time, there was also ever-growing change in the world. For one, with King Joseph now removed from power, a new heir would have to take the throne. After much discussion, it was decided that only who was the next of heir would be most suited, that being none other than Tabitha herself. Of course, she was shocked by the role. Even with her mother having regained her sanity, it was decided that Tabitha would be best suited to rule over the kingdom of Galilea, and as such, she would be the one to take the throne. But in the meantime, Naruto and Louise, along with Queen Henrietta and the others of the academy, would be given an invitation to the capital of Romelia. There, where Pope Vittorio Saravari would ask for an audience. As they arrived, they would be introduced to the Pope. He would explain to them of the prophecy and how it spoke of those who would have the ability to use void magic, and how these ones would be united together to face a calamity that would befall this world. Of course, King Joseph would have been asked to help, but because of the stance that he took, he would no longer be included. And even more so, since the power that had originally belonged to his familiar had been transferred over to Naruto, it meant now that Naruto had 2 of the 4 powers. It was also revealed that Julio was actually a familiar as well of Pope Vittorio, and that he too had the ruined mark, meaning that now 3 of the 4 marks were within their possession. 1 for Julio, and 2 for Naruto, along with the Pope, Louise, and with Tiffania, the 3 of them being void magic users. Of course, Naruto wanted to help in any way that he could, but he had to know if there was a way for him to get back to his world. And there was indeed a way. A spell that could open gates between worlds. Those who had void magic were capable of using this, but still, it wasn't one that would be easy to learn. It would take time. However, Louise, more determined than ever, would learn to master this ability. She would help Naruto get back to his world by any means. Although for now, while they were in the country of Familar, there was a festival taking place, and Naruto and the others would attend. As they did so, Naruto and Louise would find themselves spending a lot more time together. Of course, Naruto didn't admit it out loud, but he had become accustomed to this world. Not only to it, but also to the new powers and abilities that he had gained along the way. Because of this, it made him wonder, did he really want to leave? Was there a way that he could exist in both worlds, if something like that could even be possible? Of course, there was also Louise, but not just her either. There were a growing number of girls that all vied for Naruto's attention, whether he knew so or not. From Siesta, to Tabata, to Henrietta herself. It seemed as though Naruto were the ire of every girl's affections. Even though he had his ties back to Konoha, in a way, he had also managed to find a new home here as well. He hoped that maybe when it was all said and done, he could come back here again. At least, that's what he wanted. As the festival had come to an end and the others would make their way back home, Naruto and Louise would be called to Queen Henrietta's castle. As they arrived, the queen would explain that for all of Naruto's deeds, for everything that he had done, it was only fair that he be rewarded. Naruto had already earned the rank of a knight. Not that it was anything to sneeze at, but at the end of the day, he wondered how much this rank could take him. After all, in the world that he came from, he was still a genin, technically, a low-ranking ninja. But here he was actually a knight, and he was even in line to become a noble. Really showed you the perks of having a lot of power in another world. As such, he was actually gifted his own territory. You mean, like a village? You could say that. It is a village of sorts. You'd have to watch after it. Naruto? Louise would ask. Are you sure you can even accept something like this? What do you mean? Why won't I? I mean, it's just... Hey, even if I do go back home, it doesn't mean I don't want to come back here either. Besides, when I make a promise, I always vow to keep it. So yeah, I promise I'll look after this territory, even if I am in another world. Besides, if we have the power like that Pope guy says we do, then I don't think it's just one-sided. I mean, who's to say that you can only open a portal one time? Yeah, you're right. Exactly. And it'd be a lot easier. Instead of opening portals and being summoned to random places, I could just open a portal from Konoha back to my new territory. It'd be easy. But how would you know when to arrive? How do we know that time doesn't pass differently over there compared to here? Well, from the times that Jiraiya was traveling back and forth, it seemed as though time was passing just about the same. So I don't think there'd be too much of a difference. Besides, as long as I make sure to check and visit, I don't think it'll be a problem. And you can always come get me anytime. Yeah, that makes sense. I think you should do it, Naruto. Naruto would accept the offer. and he would even have a small mansion that would be given to him. Of course, they weren't going to be alone. Seeing as how they might need some help moving some things, Siesta was going to be appointed to serve in their household. Of course, the maid was all too eager to do so. As they began walking, before arriving to the carriage that would take them to their new home, there was something that Naruto had to ask Siesta. Something that he had been saving for a while now. Hey, Siesta? Yes, Naruto? I don't mean to pry, but your family, where are they from exactly? My family, huh? I'm not entirely sure. It's kind of ridiculous to even say so no, really, tell me. Well, you'll probably think I'm crazy for this, but it was said that my great-great-great-grandfather, that he wasn't originally from this world. He wasn't? Nope. It was said that a long time ago, my great-great-great-grandfather appeared from out of nowhere in the sky. He had landed out in the field, and he was tattered and bruised greatly. The woman who would go on to be my long-distant grandmother found him and nursed him back to health. When he awoke, she could see a fierceness in his eyes. His eyes shined a bright red, with markings she had never seen before. Of course, he tried to figure out where he was and how he had gotten here, and he had to admit he had no way of getting home. It took them a while to understand one another, apparently because of the language barrier, although eventually he was able to understand well enough. I see. Was his eyes always red? You know, that's the craziest thing. His eyes were red, but didn't they change back to black? They what? Yeah. I mean, it's not really anything to be overly concerned about. Why do you ask? Your descendant, do you have anything that belongs to him? Now being extremely curious, Siesta would arrive to her home. Before Naruto and Louise would leave, she would go and dig up something from the old family treasure chest. Siesta's family had long since died off. Now the only real family she had was her sister, who was working in a tavern along with her uncle and his daughter. Of course, not that everyone in the family was related by blood. Her uncle was from another side of the family, so were her cousins and everyone else in that aspect, but they were still family nonetheless, although they didn't share anything from her direct lineage. But even still, they had a few chests with some family heirlooms, one that belonged to this grandfather in particular. For Naruto, it was weird, but when he saw Siesta when he first arrived here, he had this feeling, this inkling, like she was someone different. Like he'd seen her before, or at least someone like her. She gave off a familiar vibe in a way. As they opened the chest, Naruto's eyes would open, much more widely as he saw what was inside. There was a sword. There were kunais, other forms of shinobi weaponry, and garb. But most importantly, there was a cloak. A blue cloak. And on the back, the symbol of the Uchiha clan. No way. Siesta. What is it? You're Naruto? What's the matter? She's like me. What? Wait, I am? Yeah, this. This was worn by people from my world. They were a part of a clan known as the Uchiha. You didn't know? No. The story was never talked about much amongst my family, and by the time I was born, it became more taboo than anything else. But I had no idea. This can't be a coincidence, Louise would say. First Naruto, then there was that scroll that the headmaster had, and then there was King Joseph, and he was able to summon that Nagato guy, as well as all the other strange weapons and artifacts that have come through this world, and who knows how long. Naruto, you know what this means, right? What do you think? I think our worlds might be connected somehow. You think so? Maybe not just our world, but there might be others. There's no telling. This definitely caught all of their attentions, with this new revelation being revealed that Siesta actually was a descendant of the Uchiha. Then it was only left to wonder and reason how much more to this world was it being hidden. For all they knew, what if magic in this world wasn't really magic but another form of ninjutsu that had long since been derived? There was no way of knowing for sure. There were all these new speculations, all these new theories. Everything was now being left up to chance, but even still, it definitely captured Naruto's curiosity. For now, they would take the chest with them. Siesta now had a lot of questions. She wanted to know if she were like Naruto in any way. Could she do some of these amazing and incredible things? Naruto would help her in any way that he could, but then there was another matter. She would ask if there were any more Uchihas in Naruto's world. This caused Naruto to sigh heavily, because there really weren't. Little did Naruto know that the few that remained, well, their numbers were dwindling rather quickly. Naruto tried his best to explain it as delicately as possible, explaining that the Uchiha clan suffered a great tragedy and now there weren't many that remained, but he was friends with one of them, Sasuke Uchiha. Wow, so is it like a distant relative of mine, like a brother or something? You could say that. Well, what's he like? What's Sasuke like, huh? I'd say he's definitely emo for sure. He likes to brood a lot. He often acts like he has an attitude, but really, it's just because he's a big old softy. Naruto said this with a smile, but yet even still underneath that smile there was a tinge of sadness. There was no telling what was going on with Sasuke right now. No telling how much he had fallen. In the meantime, back in Naruto's world, a heated battle was taking place in the Hidden Rain. A fully restored Nagato doing battle against the masked shinobi, who went by the name of Madara, while Konan in the meantime was fending off against Sasuke Uchiha, as well as other members of the Hebi. It was becoming very clear that they were outnumbered. Of all the times to betray me, Nagato, why now? Because I've learned that you have to fight for what's right, and you can't be blinded by your own arrogance. Is that so? Even still, I'll be needing that Rinnegan. Like I ever let you have it. As they were about to continue their fight though, Nagato could see that Konan was in trouble. Fighting against Sasuke was already tough enough, but now taking on other members of the Hebi, it only added more to her burden. Knowing that they were going to have to make the tactical retreat, waiting until he had found an opening, Nagato would take Konan, before using a reverse summoning jutsu and disappearing. There was no way of knowing where they had gone, but in either case, it seemed as though the lines were being drawn in the sand, as it were. Are you alright, Sasuke? It hasn't been easy. My eyesight. You went through a lot during the Five Kage Summit, and even more so. It seems as though the time has come. The time, huh? Yes. You're going to need his eyes. Understood. And what about you? I'm going to see what preparations I can make. Also, we're going to have to change plans. It seems as though the 8 tails you caught was a fake. A fake? It was only his tail. The chakra was useful, and it serves well enough. But still, we need the 9 tails. Naruto. But isn't he in another world? Apparently so. But I believe we'll have a way of finding him. Your task is to find Mount Miyabuko. What? It's said to be a land of the toads. It was information I was able to gather while snooping in the hidden leaf. If we can find this world of the toads, knowing that they have a contract with Naruto, I will leave his capture in your hands. I see. And what about you? I have a war to lead, Sasuke. And I have to deal with Nagato in this betrayal. In all likelihood, he'll turn to join with the other 5 great nations. He will be undoubtedly their strongest piece. But I have ways of removing him. Until then, for now the only thing we can do is prepare for battle. As Nagato would make his retreat with Konan, they knew that there weren't too many places that would be safe for them. In all likelihood, Madara was going to make his move, and it would only be but a matter of time before he came after him and the Rinnegan. They were going to have to make some allies, and fast. In the meantime, Naruto, now that he and Louise and Siesta had been settling down in their new mansion, with Siesta getting a basic rundown of what chakra was and seeing if she had the aptitude to use it. As the girls had gone to sleep for the night, Naruto had turned his focus to something else. He had managed to be able to use the mirror of truth, now having it in his possession as a gift for all of his hard work. Naruto would take a deep breath. Hey partner. Yes, Durf? Be careful. There's no telling what you'll see once you go inside. I know. But even still, if there is really a way for me to master the 9 tails chakra, then this is my only chance to do it. With a deep breath, Naruto would walk inside of the mirror. As he did so, he found himself in a void of darkness, before hearing a sinister voice. A voice that was all his own. So, you've come crawling back. I guess you want that power now, huh? Don't think you'll get it so easily. I know that you're not me. At least you're not the real me. Oh, I'm real. And I am very much you. Just like you or me. Then why? Why am I like this? Don't waste my time asking questions you already know the answer to. I am the epitome of your hate, your sorrow, every feeling that you push into the corner of your mind. Those dark places you don't like to go? That's who I am, Naruto. I'm that part of your psyche that you keep hidden from everyone else. Because they hate to see what you really think. Like Louise. What about her? I know you hate her. You can't stand her. You resent her. It's all her fault. It's not, but it is. If she hadn't used that dumb summoning spell, you wouldn't be here right now. You think that it's bad enough that Jiraiya's gone? There's no telling how many people are dead. Sakura, Kakashi, Granny Tsunade, maybe the whole village has been destroyed by now. And all because you weren't there to save or protect them. And what's worse, you have to trust your enemy to do your job for you. How do you know he won't betray you later? Shut up. You know I'm right. In the end, you've just been stuck here, spinning your wheels, doing nothing. The helpless Naruto. All that power and nothing to show for it. If you never get home, it'll all be a waste of time. And it's all her fault. It's not! It's not true! But what I don't really understand though is, why would you even want to go back? Huh? You want to go back to the village? You want to be the Hokage? The Hokage of what? The Hokage of ungrateful little brats? Spoiled is what I like to call it. They hated us. They ostracized us. Every chance they got, they blamed their problems on us. It's not our fault, but it didn't matter to them. It wasn't right to pick on a child, but it didn't matter to them, as long as they felt better. Poor weaklings. Excuses of human beings. They can't protect themselves, but yet they want everything. Just how selfish can they be? And you want to be the Hokage and watch over them. Of course I do. Why? You think that it'll make them accept you? That it'll make them love you? No, Naruto. They'll never love you. They'll only love what you can do for them. And even when they do love you, it'll only be a matter of time. Because they'll enjoy watching you fall. There'll always be those that hate you, that despise you, that only see you for what you truly are. You are nothing more but a beast like me. You think you can hide from your anger, that you can hide from your hatred, that you can hide from the rage that you feel deep inside. Ninetales. That's right. I am the being that hides in your mind. You cannot hide your hatred from me because I am hatred incarnate. I will never work with you. I will never be in subjugation to you or to anyone. Here's what's going to happen. First, I'm going to get out of this body by any means. Then, I'm going to lay waste to anyone that binds me. And if anyone in that world ever has the audacity to bring me back, then I will enjoy watching it burn. Naruto would feel himself grow in his anger. Anger at himself. Anger for the Ninetales. Anger for everything that had ever polluted his mind. The hatred, the rage, it all consumed him greatly. As he found himself standing before the beast, Naruto would draw his sword, summoning a Rasengan, as Naruto and the Ninetales would clash. Even if he couldn't control the power, he owed it to stop it from spreading any further. But even still, there was only so much that Naruto could do. That was, until when he found himself being pushed. A set of chains would emerge from his body. binding and holding him in place, restraining the Ninetales. What? How can you? Kushina, you dare? In an instant, Naruto would find himself in another plane of existence. As he looked around, he tried to figure out where he was. He had no clue. However, as he turned, there was someone waiting for him. A woman dressed in green with long, beautiful red hair. What the? Who are you? You've grown up so much. Well, I'm going to let you guess who I am. Think you can figure it out? Yeah, I do. You're the Ninetales' true form, aren't you? Really? That's who you think I am? You think it's funny? You think you can play games with me by turning into some beautiful woman? I'm onto you, Ninetales. There's no way you're gonna fool me. There's no way you're gonna get the best of— Ow! That's really bad to go around assuming things, you know. Oh, my head. Oh. You said you know. Well, yeah. But I mean, it's one of the many goofy or rather annoying quirks that I had as a child. I sure hope you didn't pick them up, though. I mean, Minato seemed to like it after all, but... Well, What? Minato never told you about me? Shame on him. Well, I guess this is a way of an introduction, but... That's right, I'm your... You're my... Mom. It's okay, Naruto. You can let it all out. As Naruto began his journey to overcome the hatred of the Ninetales, it started with a chance encounter. As for the first time in over 16 years, Naruto found himself in the embrace of his mother, Kushina Uzumaki. This concludes Naruto, Tale of Two Sages. What If Naruto Was Louise's Familiar? Part 11. As always, if you enjoyed today's video and everything else that we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcastings that has to come out now and in the future. Stay tuned for later on this afternoon where we will be doing our Chainsaw Man Episode 3 review, and stay tuned for tomorrow's video as we continue My Hero Academia: The Dark Knight Returns. What If Deku Was Batman? Part 11. But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of today's video. I'm Javon Harrington with PowerCore Productions and Podcastings. Signing off, and I'll see you next time.